Hi, it's Eric Koscinski here, and in this video sequence I'm sharing the exact ads, funnels, automations, templates and CRM setups that my clients use to schedule over 100 qualified sales appointments every single month and efficiently manage this volume from a sales and operations perspective. This video is a part of a larger sequence, and in this video specifically I want to dive into ads. However, if you are also interested in other parts such as funnels, CRM automations, automations in general, CRM setup, tracking, analytics and so on, then check out the description because I will link the rest of this video sequence in the description below. So now let's get to the main part. So in terms of the campaign, before I show you the exact copy, before I show you the exact structure, video, scripts and so on, there is one last thing that I want to say, and that is research. So whenever I'm starting a new campaign, especially for a new client, research is where I spend 80 to 90% of my time, not the campaign setup. So the campaign setup, once you've done your research, is actually very, very easy. And it's very often outsourced to like junior employees, because research is the difficult part. Knowing what to write in your copy is the difficult part. Knowing what kind of ad creative to use is the difficult part. Not putting the campaign together, because that's extremely easy, and there are a ton of YouTube tutorials on how to do this from the technical standpoint. So strategy, obviously much more important than technical setup. So in terms of strategy, in terms of research, before you start running your ads, the easiest way to get started is to start with your competitors. So you wanna look at your closest competition, and you wanna find like what kind of offers they have, what kind of problems they talk about, what kind of solutions they are offering to your target audience, what kind of language they use. Are there certain keywords that they use over and over again? Do they have like a specific funnel? And also, if you go to Facebook ad library, you can spy on your competitors' ads, and more importantly, you can also see when the campaign was published. And that gives you very important information, because if there is an ad that was published like 6 months ago, chances are this ad is profitable, because otherwise they would not be running this for so long. And if you can see an ad that's been running for like 3 days, then it doesn't really give you that many valuable information, because you know that it's not yet proven. So just look for those ads that your competitors have been running for a long time, and you will see what's proven for them, and that already gives you a good starting point. Okay, so let's get into the actual campaign structure, and right now I will switch to my screen and I will show you an example structure. So this is a Facebook Ads Manager, obviously, and if you don't have any remarketing audiences, if you don't have any like customer lists or a large following on social media, if you don't really have any audiences or resources that you could leverage, you're gonna put the almost like the entire budget towards top of funnel, at least at the very beginning. Once you've built up some audiences such as website visitors or a list or a following online, then you can start allocating some part of your budget towards middle of funnel. However, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to assume that you are just getting started with ads. You don't really have any audiences, or the audiences that you have are small, and you are spending the entire budget on top of funnel. So basically, you are just reaching out to a cold audience that have not heard from you and have not interacted with your business in any way. And you are seeing such example right in front of you right now on my screen. So we have one campaign, which is top of funnel, and then we have 4 ad sets, and then in each ad set we have 2 ads. Okay, and I'm gonna take my laptop and switch to my client's ads manager, and I'm gonna show you how this campaign looks like in a real life scenario. So I'm gonna blur some of this information because obviously I want to respect their privacy. However, like you don't really need to know like campaign names and stuff like that. So the important part will be visible to you. It doesn't really matter if I blur some of those campaigns. So here is the structure. So we have one campaign which is top of funnel, and then we have 5 ad sets. So the reason why we have 5 ad sets is because we have a large enough budget to be able to test multiple audiences. If I only had $33 per day to spend or $1,000 per month, I would only pick one audience. So I would take an educated guess, and I would only pick one audience that I would believe have the highest chances of succeeding. However, in this case, currently we are spending $125 per day, and we have 5 ad sets, and the budget is spread equally across 5 ad sets. So it's $25 per day per ad set. Within each ad set, we have 2 ads with the same copy with different videos. Okay, so that is the campaign structure, and that's pretty simple. Now I'm gonna show you how I structure my ad copies. Okay, so there are probably like tens of different models that you can use to write ad copies. And my favorite one, the one that I use the most, is called AIDA, which stands for Attention, Interest, Desire, Action. And you can see on the screen right now an example ad copy that was written with AIDA in mind. So at the very top, we have a hook. The purpose of this line, of this paragraph, is to grab someone's attention. So we have the letter A, which stands for attention. Then we have interest. So once we have their attention, we need to, have something else that would develop their interest even further. Once they are interested, we want to build desire, which is like, they are interested, but they need to be interested enough to want to click on your ad and go through your funnel. And then we have action. So once the desire is there, we need to tell them what to do next. So once they know this is something that they want or potentially want, we need to tell them what to do. So like, leave a comment or click on the ad, or we can even speak about things that are further down the funnel, such as, schedule a call or buy now or something like this. So like I said, there are tens of different models to help you write your ad copies. However, the one that I use the most, my favorite one, is AIDA, which once again stands for Attention, Interest, Desire, and Action. So now, video structure. So for your Facebook ads, you may use a video and you may also use an image. Now, some people say images are better, others say, videos are better. And in my opinion, if you look at the low-level metrics, such as cost per click or CTR, you will not find, like, you may have a very good CPC, which is cost per click, and CTR, which is click-through rate, with videos, and you can also have a great CPC with images. And you may come up with an image that has a better CPC than all of your videos, and the other way around. You may come up with a new video that has a better CPC or CTR than all of the other images that you have ever used. However, if you look at the entire funnel and the metrics that are further down the funnel, such as cost per appointment, show up rate, closing rate on sales calls, I believe it's easier to achieve good metrics further down your funnel if you have a video, because you can already on the ad level say a ton of things that will help you convert those people throughout your funnel. So with with images, you cannot really pass that many information to your prospects that you can with a video, because in your video you can mention something about your offer, about your credibility, about the pains that your customers are experiencing, about the potential solutions they are looking for. You can mention something about your guarantee. You can even quickly tell them how the funnel looks like, what they can expect when they click on your ad, and so on. You can pass on so much information, and this information will help you convert those prospects, and it will increase the metrics in your funnel. So I personally prefer using videos over images. So now let me switch to my screen and show you an example video structure that I like to use. Okay, so there is obviously more than one way to structure your video script. There is probably more than 1,000 ways to structure your video scripts. But here is a real proven video script that I've been running for one of my clients for a few months now. And it has already booked over 500 sales calls. So in this case, our conversion is counted when a call is booked, and we have generated Well, I'm not gonna say 548 appointments because it's not 100% accurate, but easily over 500 appointments. I've been running this ad for a very long time, and the cost per lead has been very stable. So definitely a great ad. And even we have a couple of variations. We have different versions. We have different videos. But very often I follow this particular video structure. It's very simple. It's very straight to the point, and it works really well, especially for high ticket funnels. So here is the structure. So as you can see, it's a very short video. It's definitely under 1 minute, even if you speak slowly. So at the very top, we have the hook. This is the most important part of your video. This is going to determine whether someone's going to stop and listen, or if they will just scroll past your ad. So the first line is definitely the most important one, and in this line, you should do two crucial things. So the first thing is you should call out your ideal audience. And secondly, you should hook them in with something that's relevant to them, with something that's interesting to them specifically, right? So in terms of calling out the ideal audience, in our case, those are software startup founders or aspiring software startup founders, right? People who are trying to build their own software startup. And we are calling them out right here. And then the hook is the funding. So aspiring software startup founders are obsessed with funding, actually even like too much, because there are other crucial parts that are required to successfully launch a software startup. But we know from our research, we know from our experience that they tend to be ignoring everything else, and they tend to be focusing exclusively or like almost entirely on getting funding. So even though my client helps them with a ton of different things, and funding is just one part of it, we still lead with funding just because it's so great at grabbing their attention. So, who you are targeting, and then what is it they really need, right? So in this case, if you want to build a software startup and need funding, then keep watching this video. Then we have credibility, and a very strong one in this case: 35 years of experience, 22 products, 8 software startups. And then straight after displaying the credibility, we hook them in again, and we tell them that we are aware of what are their pains. So a typical software startup founder, after reading this, they're gonna be like, yes, that is me, because I do not know how to raise funds. I do not have enough funds, and I don't know how to speak to investors. I don't even know where to find them. I don't know how to do market research. I don't know how to create documentation or how that would even look like. I don't know how to find the right development team, and so on and so on. So this is just gonna cement their pains. Um, most of our audience is already somewhat aware of their pains, but after reading this, or actually after hearing this is a video script, they're gonna be like, oh my god, this is me, and I'm feeling even worse than before. And then we tell them that obviously, good news is that we have a solution, and the solution will be presented when you get on a call. So very, very typical. No matter what you sell, no matter if it's a product or a service, you are either helping someone achieve some kind of a goal, which is like on the positive side, or helping someone fix their current pain problem, which is more on the negative side. And you can do both. You can do positive, you can do negative. I tend to focus more on the negative side, and that's simply because people are much more motivated to solve a pain than they are to achieve a goal. So like, for example, think about your life. If you have a headache, how likely you are to do some kind of action to fix that problem, either take a nap or take a pill or go take a walk. You are very motivated to fix this problem ASAP, versus if you feel good, how motivated are you to do something that would make you feel even better? like meditate or go for a run or something like this, you may still be motivated, but the motivation is nowhere near as high. So that's why I like to focus on the negative things. So just cementing on their pains, and then we have the solution. The solution is to get on a call, and then is the call to action. So schedule the call right now. So pretty simple. Once again, we have the hook and calling out the ideal audience. Then we have credibility. Then we have pains. Then we have solution or like a big promise, and then call to action. And I'm gonna switch to my screen again to show you what kind of targeting I use for this specific client. So like as you can see right here, we have 5 different ad sets, and in each ad set we use different kind of targeting. So we currently use 3 different lookalikes. And lookalike, if you don't know what a lookalike is, imagine that last week you've got 200 website visits. What you can do now, assuming you had your Facebook pixel installed on your website, you can take this audience, send it to Facebook, and you can tell Facebook, hey, those are 200 website visitors, and I want you now to find, another 100, 500, or 1 million people who are very similar in terms of behavior to those who have already visited my website. And Facebook is actually very good at finding those people. So that's just an example lookalike audience that you can do, because there are many different types. So I've just explained to you what a website visits lookalike is. Another type of lookalike is like people who have scheduled a call with you, and that's a much more valuable lookalike audience, because people who have scheduled a call with you, they are obviously a lot more interested. They have shown a lot more interest than those who have simply just visited your website. So that lookalike audience most likely is going to have much better numbers. The ultimate, holy grail lookalike audience would be your buyers. So if you have 100, 150, or a few hundred or a few thousand buyers, and you have their email addresses, you have their phone numbers, you can take that CSV list and you can send it to Facebook, and you can tell Facebook, hey, those are people who have already purchased something from me. I want you now to find a few times more people just like them, and I want to target them with my ad. So that's a very powerful audience. However, it's not my favorite audience. So let's move on to the second thing, which is interest targeting. So very classic. If you have done anything with Facebook ads in the past, most likely you already know what this is. So this is basically just targeting people based on their interest. So very simple. And that's not my favorite type of targeting. That's probably my least favorite type of targeting. My favorite one is Advantage Plus audience. So Advantage Plus audience is basically like no targeting whatsoever. And it blows my mind how resistant people are to Advantage Plus audience. I have not seen that many Facebook marketers use this, and it's it blows my mind because it's so powerful. And the way it basically works is you set no targeting at your ad set level, and then Facebook, based on your ad creative, ad copy, or data that you've collected in the past, figures out who is most likely to benefit from your offer. And it actually works so well, because I've tested this on over, I think, like close to 100 ad accounts at this point, and it works so well. And even if you are just getting started, you don't have any pixel data, Facebook can still figure out who's your ideal audience based on your ad creative and your ad copy, assuming your ad copy is well written, of course. So that's my favorite type of targeting, and that's the one that I use the most. Although with this particular campaign, I actually, spend more of the budget on lookalike audiences, because I have 3 ad sets with lookalike audiences and only 1 with Advantage Plus audience. However, the reason why is because I've been almost like abusing Advantage Plus audience for this particular client for the past 13-14 months. So I basically just don't want to zoom in too much, and I don't want to discard other opportunities that might also be good. So that's why I wanted to start looking into lookalike audiences a bit more now, to make sure that I'm not just biased. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I know that's a lot to take in and that video is probably very long at this point. However, if you wanna have a quick, handy summary of all of those things, so add copies, add videos, structure, best guidelines and so on in a single Google Doc, with examples, with screenshots, then check out the description below, and this is where you will be able to access that handy template with all of those things that were mentioned in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and check out the rest of the video sequence where I share my clients' funnels, ads, CRM setups, automations, templates, and so on.